I'd like to speak to the game manager, please.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a Madden 22 franchise rebuild of my New England Patriots. I've been a big Patriots fan for going on almost 8 years now. My first game was back in 2012. I watched the Patriots get their butts whooped by the Ravens, and I believe it was a conference game. And ever since then, I was a fan, and I became a huge fan of football, and it's one of the reasons I got into Madden as well, was my love for the Patriots and for Tom Brady. So I thought, you know what, for this channel, let's go ahead and do a New England Patriots rebuild. Let's see if Mac Jones is the face of the franchise going forward. And you know, I know a lot about this team. I know a lot about its players, its holes. I know about, you know, the things that are wrong with it, where it needs developing. So I think I can put that knowledge forward, and you know, maybe we can bring New England back to its winning ways, the Patriot way, so to speak. So in this franchise, we're going to be doing an in-depth look at our re-signings, our trades, our draft, the team needs. We're going to be looking at the depth chart, where each player stands, and we'll figure out kind of where I want players, where we should go. Maybe we could do some trades. We'll look to see if there's anything available. You've seen my other rebuilds. This one's going to be a little bit different. Going forward on this one, I'm going to be simming seasons a little bit faster so that we can get more done. And yeah, that's pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and advance week. I already set the schedule to mimic real life of the playoffs. Well, at least for the wild card weekend, because that's all that passed. Unfortunately, Patriots, we got blown out by our divisional rivals, and it looks like it's going to be the Bucks and the Titans in the Super Bowl. Interesting. I wonder who's going to win. View yearly awards. Did Tom win or did Aaron? Tom Brady won it. Okay, Tom Brady gets his, that would be his 4th MVP. And let's go ahead and advance week once more. We're going to be playing as Bill Belichick, who is the greatest coach of all time. I don't know how many years he has left. And the Bucks lose the Super Bowl. Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry get their first, as well as Mike Vrabel as a coach. That's awesome. Good for the Titans. Sorry for Tom Brady. Let's go ahead, move on. Okay, looking at our re-signings for the Patriots, we got a couple free agents coming up that worry me a little bit because we don't have too much cap space, but JC Jackson's one of them, and he's someone that I definitely want to re-sign long-term for this team. I'd like to give him a 5-year deal. I'm going to up his money just a little bit just to make sure we're not competing for him. You know, I think he deserves the cornerback 1 money, and even this is a little bit on the cheaper side. But let's give him the 5-year deal. He accepts. That's good. One of the problems with the Patriots defense is it's very old and very slow. This year, you could just see that our linebacker core just didn't have that sideline to sideline speed, and it was just evidence in games like the one we just had against Josh Allen, where he just ran all over us, and our ends couldn't contain him. Our linebackers couldn't pursue. It was brutal. Devin McCourty, however, still fast. He's still a leader on this defense. He's still perfectly fine for a 1-year deal. Absolutely, we're going to keep him for 1 year if he wants to stay. We're going to go ahead and offer him 7, and then we'll offer him 4.5 million. You know, let's offer him an extra 500K. This is one thing that's wrong with this iteration of Madden, is that veterans just don't want to re-sign. Even if you overpay, see, they just won't. It doesn't matter if they've been on your team forever. They do not want to stay. Okay. Okay, there seems to be a little bug when I use the enter button, because that's my hotkey for pausing. It's making It was making the highlighter go away. Okay, there we go. Franchise tag is 14 million for Dev. Okay, we'll try to get Dev back in free agency if he wants to come. Trent Brown wants a 4-year deal. Oof, we need to protect Mac Jones. He's a free agent in real life too. In real life, I might not. I probably wouldn't sign him to a long-term contract just because he hasn't really shown that consistency to be able to stay on the field for multiple seasons. He's been very great. If he's on a 1-year prove it deal, oh for sure, he's one of the best in the league. But yeah, 4-year deal. How much is that per year? 12 million. It's pretty good money for a right tackle. You know what? We need to protect Mac Jones. We'll offer him that. He's not going to take it. All right. This is not looking good. Dante Hightower, we're not going to re-sign. He's way too slow to be playing on this team right now. I just want him to retire into the sunset. Patriots legend. Helped us win 2 Super Bowls. Love him. Too slow. Adrian Phillips, who was re-signed in real life. They hadn't adjusted the contract. Honestly, I think I'm going to let him hit free agency. In this at least. Juwan Bentley, another middle linebacker who's just too slow. We need to get faster at the position. I'm not going to re-sign him. We might go after him in free agency, but we're not going to sign him now. Jacoby Myers. I like Jacoby. I think he's a good slot receiver. We're going to keep him. We're going to give him a 5-year deal. I think he earned this. It's pretty cheap. He's a good safety blanket for Mac Jones. You know, he played well. He's never going to be that #1 receiver that we need to go after. Nick Folk, that guy's clutch as hell, but he's kind of old, so we're not going to re-sign him. Ted Karras, James White, all too old. Miles Bryant's too slow. Brandon Bolden, too slow and too old. We're not going to be using a fullback too much in this playbook. Gunnar Olszewski, Brian Hoyer, none of these guys we're going to re-sign, so we can let them all go. Okay, so talking about some of the moves we're going to be making on the depth chart going into the next year. Isaiah Wynn's been a bit of a disappointment at left tackle, mostly just health reasons. He hasn't been able to stay on the field. I think going forward, we're going to be switching our scheme up a little bit, and we're going to be moving Isaiah Wynn to left guard, where I think he's just physically more adept to playing. He's shorter, he doesn't weigh as much, but you know what? He's athletic, and he's got good technique. I think he'll make a good left guard. And we'll be playing Mike Onwenu at right tackle. We still have Andrews and Mason, which is going to make a great offensive line. We have Redmond and Sherman and Huron as depth guys. So that's good for us too. Tight end, we're perfectly fine with Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, and Dalton Keene. We can't trade Jonnu Smith. The contract's just way too big right now. I think Jonnu Smith's been a little bit of a disappointment for the amount that we paid for him. But we're going to try to get him involved in this team, hopefully. Going to receiver, Kendrick Bourne, I'm surprised doesn't have star dev. And Jacoby Myers, who we just signed, will be playing in the slot. I think Nelson Aguilar has been probably the biggest disappointment, and he's a huge cap hit. I'm going to see if we can unload his contract and trade him away. It's just, he's a bit ridiculous to have on here. N'Keal Harry, he's been a major disappointment, but I think we're going to try moving him to tight end, and we can use him as a third tight end over Dalton Keene, who I don't even know if he's seen the field since we drafted him. So yeah, we're going to probably get rid of Nelson Aguilar. We're going to move N'Keal Harry to tight end. Damien Harris and Stevenson, we're both going to be moved. Those will be our 2 feature backs going forward. Obviously, we have Mac Jones. Jared Stidham as his backup, which is great. Moving over to the defense. Kyle Duggar is a great strong safety. He's a little on the older side. He was drafted at 24, but you know what? That's okay. It's not that big of a deal. He has good stats. Matt Judon, we're going to be moving to the line. We're probably going to be playing him at right end. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, but we need to get faster in our linebacker core, and I think that guys like Judon and Josh Uche they're going to be better off playing on the line. So we might even go to like a 4-3 instead of a 3-4. I haven't decided yet. Jonathan Jones will be our slot corner going forward. So major needs going forward. We're going to need another corner. We're going to need middle linebackers. And we're probably going to need a left tackle and an X wide receiver. So that's everything we're going to be looking for in the free agency and the draft. I'm going to go ahead and get this roster all set up and ready to go. And then, you know, we'll do the free agency, we'll do the draft, and we'll see how next season starts to look. So I think what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be changing our offensive scheme to look more like a vertical power run. The Patriots need to get faster at, you know, pretty much all wide receiver spots. I think this vertical power run mimics what we want to do on this offense, what kind of team we're trying to build. Same thing for defense. We're going to be going with a quarters 4-3. This is looking like what I want. Yeah, we're going to be running hybrid safeties, slot corners, pass catching, fast middle linebackers, and then power, speed. Yeah, so that looks pretty good on defense. So we're going to be trading Nelson Aguilar, a 6th round pick this year and a 6th round pick next year, to the Lions for a 3rd round pick this year. They really need wide receiver, and although we need wide receiver too, what we need more is cap space, and Nelson Aguilar just isn't good enough, and he has way too big of a cap hit. The Lions are in rebuild. They can take on 1 year of his contract. They'll be perfectly fine, and I think that's going to help them compete in the division if they get a new quarterback or if they stick with Jared Goff. Who knows? Let's go ahead and make the trade. Okay, free agency is over, and we are just about to start the 2022 draft. I just want to show you how our free agency went. I'm very happy with it. There was a really good free agency. So, offensively, big signings, Chris Godwin. We managed to bring in that number 1 receiver that I think is really going to take Mac Jones's game to the next level. And also, we managed to sign John Ross. I think he's on a 2-year deal. So he's a depth speed guy, help stretch the field. He's kind of our replacement for Nelson Aguilar, who was the speed guy. But Chris Godwin, definitely a big signing for us. The only thing we didn't get was a left tackle. There wasn't really anybody that I wanted to spend money on, so that's something we're going to target in the draft. We also brought in Kerryon Johnson as a backup running back. Dwayne Haskins as a backup quarterback. And we did end up moving N'Keal Harry to tight end. So we've got Jonnu and tight end playing kind of like this backup wide receiver role. We've also got Jonnu in at fullback. Looking at defense, this is where we made a lot of big moves. Let's start off in the safety position. So at safety position, we brought in Jabril Peppers to play free safety for us. He's very fast. He's a big hitter. We also moved Jalen Mills back to free safety. When the Patriots signed him, I believe they intended to play him more in a safety nickel slot corner kind of role, which is what we're going to move him back to safety because we signed Justin Reed. And in this scheme, 4-3-quarters, we're looking for slot type cornerbacks. We're looking for guys who can tackle, that are fast, real physical guys. And Justin Reed's a safety, but we moved him to corner. And that's how we're paying him. I think he's going to be a good number 2 next to JC Jackson. We're going to have John Jones in the slot. We moved Matt Judon to right end. Chase is going to be playing starting left end. We've got Wise at defensive tackle with Barmore. We also signed Linval Joseph to play defensive tackle. So we've got these power kind of in the middle there. And then we've got Uche playing on the line as well. So hopefully we can get them involved. Linebacker. This is the big thing that we were going for. So Cam McGrone's going to be our starting left outside linebacker as a run stopper. We also signed Jefferson and Muse behind him. 2 really fast guys. The main goal of this was to bring speed at the linebacker position. And in this scheme, we're running pass coverage style right outside and middle linebackers. So we brought in these box safeties who we've kind of moved over. Deshaun Elliott and Terrell Edmonds, Kenny Robinson, and Josh Jones. So we brought in 4 brand new middle linebackers who are going to be playing in that spot. Ronnie Harrison Jr., who's also going to be playing at the right side. And that's pretty much all the moves that we made. I think that this is not very realistic on how the Patriots would do it in real life, but this is the idea of what we need to do. We need to get faster at middle linebacker, and we need to secure a new safety spot because of Dev McCourty. And I think that we need to also get corner depth. But this is how it's going to look after free agency. I'm pretty happy with how it went. We still have the draft. Hopefully we can target some good players. Maybe we can get some depth. Left tackles, one of them wide receiver. Somebody to replace Bourne, I think. And I will see you in the draft. So with our first pick in the draft, the 21st pick, we're going to go with Kenyon Green. Left tackle out of Texas A&M. Great awareness. He's 21 years old. He's got good pass blocking skills, which we're looking for a pass blocker. He's not the most athletic guy, but I think that he could be the franchise left tackle that we need to protect Mac Jones. 86 strength, 63 speed, hidden dev. What a great pick. So I want to move back up into the first round. We're going to be looking to trade with the Bengals. The 25th pick is where I want to get to. I think we're going to trade our second rounder as well as this third rounder that we got from the Lions, and then a 4th rounder next year. I think this should be enough to get us up. Let's see. It is? Okay, perfect. And let's skip to my next pick here. With our next pick, the 25th, we're going to be drafting John Mecree III out of Alabama. We're going to be reuniting him with Mac Jones. He's 21 years old, 6 feet tall. He's got great stats. His physicals aren't amazing. They don't really stand out, but he's going to be a really, really technically sound wide receiver with good hands. He can run block. He's got good after the catch, ball carrying skills. Let's bring him in. Let's reunite him with Mac Jones. Welcome to the team, John Mecree III. Okay, no dev trait, unfortunately, but you know what? We'll see how his stats look. Might not be that big of a bust pick. So with our third pick in the draft, I think I'm going to grab this Daniel Falalele. He's just massive. 6'8", 380 pounds out of Minnesota. He's 21 years old. He's got pretty good physical skills. 3-cone drill's good. 20 yards good. And if we look at his regular skills, impact block and pass blocking is A. I don't think he's going to have a dev trait, but you know what? We do need depth, and I like him. I think he's pretty big. Let's welcome him to the team. Wow, he does have a dev upgrade. I can't speak. Huh. Okay, well that changes things. So with our 4th pick, we're going to be taking Eric Wilson out of Clemson. 6'1", 21 years old. He has really good physical stats. He's actually a physical beast. One of the best in the class. 4.3 speed. Skills, he's got B catching, C awareness, D zone. That's all we really know about him. But you know what? I think that's enough, to be honest. Welcome to the team, Eric Wilson. 93 speed, 86 jump, no dev trait. That's okay. Okay, so with our 6th round pick, we're going to look to bring in backup Dorian Thompson to compete with Jared Stidham for the quarterback 3 spot. He's actually pretty athletic, 4'6", and a 4.64 at the combine. Most athletic in the draft class. He's got solid throw power. You know, he's a backup. Nothing spectacular from him. That's okay. Let's bring him on. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. I sure know how to draft. Nothing spectacular. I'm over here talking smack. Sorry, Dorian. And with our last pick in the draft, we are going to draft Brett Mcdonald, a kicker out of Michigan State. We did sign Goggles. Can't remember his name at the top of my head, but let's see if this guy can compete with him and take the job. It's probably not going to happen. All right, welcome to the new season. So this is going to be our roster going forward. We've got with Daniel Falalele playing left tackle. We're going to have Wynn, Andrews, Mason, and Onwenu as our starting offensive linemen. We're going to have Green as our swing tackle and backup for now. He'll probably end up replacing either Wynn or Andrews, depending on what happens going forward in the future. Henry Smith and Harry as our tight ends. Godwin, and we're going to play Mecchi as our number 2. Jacoby as our number 3, and Bourne as our number 4. Ross is our 5th. N'Keal Harry as our 6th. Harris, Stevenson, and Johnson as our running backs. So Thompson's going to take the starting backup role for quarterback, and Haskins is going to be behind him. Max, obviously the starter going forward. Defensively, everything pretty much looks the same as last time we looked. Only difference is Wilson is going to be playing our number 4 corner role. He's also going to be a backup safety in both spots. And our specialists, we're actually going to play Mecchi in the slot. He's really high level and higher overall than I thought he was going to be, but I want to dev him up. So I'm hoping that we can get a lot of passing yards to him in the simulator, and we'll dev him up. That way it won't really matter that he didn't have a hidden dev grade when we drafted him. But yep, this is the specialist tab going forward. And for the first year of this rebuild, we're going to be running the New England Playbook for both offense and defense, and we'll see how it works out. If we can't get anything good going, then we'll probably switch out. We'll maybe do Ravens defense and Bucks offense. I always like to try with their original playbooks, unless they're known for having a bad playbook, just because it does get a little OP. And in some of my rebuilds, once you change the playbook, that's when you immediately see huge amounts of success. So I'm going to keep it with the New England for now. We'll keep it the Patriot Way, and we'll see how this works out. Okay, I will see you at the mid-season mark. Okay, welcome to the mid-season mark. We're 2-4 right now. Not very good. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to check out the stats and see what's up. Patriots playbook used to be pretty good. I mean, Mac Jones is 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,300 yards. Damien's got 467 and 4. That's none of this is really that great. That's actually pretty bad offensively. Yeah, we're gonna change the playbook right away. That's too bad. 2-4. No, there's no way. 30th offense. How about defense? 5th defense. Okay, so maybe we'll keep the defense at us Patriots, but we'll pick a different offense. Okay, we're gonna try out Tampa Bay for the remainder of the season. Hopefully that can boost up that offense. I just don't think that with how much talent we put on this offense that we should be the 30th in the league. Even this year, we weren't 30th in the league in offense. We were still middling in real life. But all right, we're going to see how this goes, and I will see you at the end of the season. So we went 8-9, and we missed the playoffs. I did not see that coming, if I'm being honest with you. Taking a look at the stats on the season. So switching to the Bucks definitely helped Mac Jones a lot. Pumped him up to 4,600 passing yards, 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's a great sophomore season for Mac. I'm more just disappointed with our record. I thought we would make the playoffs. Damien Harris had 1,000 yards. That's pretty good. Chris Godwin and John Mecchi both had 1,000-yard seasons, and Hunter Henry and Jacoby were almost there as well. That's really great. I like the receivers. Defense. So taking a look at our sack numbers, Matt Judon and Chase had a hell of a season. Ronnie Harrison with 5.5 sacks. Good for him. Barmore, Dietrich Wise. Our DTs could have had a little bit more impact. That's probably just about the scheme of the playbook, but lots of interceptions to go around for our linebacker Elliott. And Justin Reed had a really good season. 100 tackles, 3 interceptions. Good for him. All right, cool. I'm going to go ahead and go right to Super Bowl week, and we'll see what the awards are and who's in the Super Bowl. So I can't believe this, but it's actually Kansas City and the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl. I'm actually shocked and surprised. I've never seen that one before. It's a really odd matchup. I'd be even more surprised if Pat Mahomes won MVP. It wasn't. It was Lamar Jackson. Wow, that is definitely surprising. Tom Brady came in 4th. Coach of the Year was Bruce Arians. AFC Offensive Player of the Year, Mac came in 4th. Defensive Player of the Year, Judon came in 4th. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Mechie was 2nd. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we didn't have any. Best Quarterback, Mac was 4th. Nothing in running back. Nothing in receiver. No lineman. Matt Judon was 2nd in Best Defensive Lineman. Harrison was 6th in the Best Linebacker. Best DBs, nothing. Best Kicker, nothing. All right. Not the year that I wanted to have, if I'm being honest with you. But you know what? This is a rebuild. It's going to take a couple years to really get the Patriots back into the dynasty. You know, it just shows that maybe this year's playoff was just a fluke, and the team needs a lot more than we originally thought. Who knows? Let's see who wins the Super Bowl. And it's going to be the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl over the Cowboys. Well, would you look at that? Wow. And we're going to go see what kind of contracts we need. I don't think there's many contracts up. Let's see here. Damien Harris, Jonathan Jones, is they a win? Jake Bailey. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start off by signing Damien Harris. We're going to give him the 5-year deal that he wants. I think it's a pretty good contract for our franchise back. Jonathan Jones, we're not going to re-sign. 29 years old, 80 overall. No, thank you. Isaiah Wynn, we are not going to re-sign. We have a replacement for him with Green, who we drafted. Jake Bailey, we will re-sign. We're going to give Jake Bailey a 5-year deal. Chase Winovich, we're not going to re-sign. Devin Godchaux, we're not going to re-sign. N'Keal Harry, we're not going to re-sign. Okay, heading into the 2023 NFL draft. In free agency, we didn't make as big of a splash as we did last year. We re-signed N'Keal Harry on offense. And on defense, we didn't actually make any signings. Everybody that I tried to sign rejected. Just a big problem. Like, you have to literally overpay by like a ridiculous amount of money to make sure that, to assure that you get the player that you want, even if they're a scheme fit, even if they would be a starter, even if you're paying them way more than the next offer. Veteran players will just reject for no reason. Absolutely no reason. I went after JJ Watt and played the left end, and Fletcher Cox to play the defensive tackle role. And unfortunately, I lost out on both of them. However, this defense is still looking pretty good. So we'll see if we can replace those holes in the draft. I have no idea. I'll see you at the draft. So with the first pick in the draft, we're picking 15th, and we're going to be grabbing Warren Hendrix, a right end. He's a speed rusher out of Missouri. He's massive, 6'5", 270, 21 years old. His physicals are really good. He's the strongest in the class. He's fast, athletic. For that size, it's amazing. And his stats look great. Awareness, block shedding, finesse move, all B. Pursuit B, play recognition A. His worst stat is hit power, and that doesn't really matter in the simulator. But I think he's going to be the franchise pass rusher of this team, and that might mean that we might say goodbye to Matt Judon. Let's see how he looks. No dev trait, unfortunately. 85 strength, 82 speed. He still looks good. I still think he'll develop. I don't know if that means that we'll trade anybody. Maybe we put him at left end instead and we'll keep Judon for another year. I don't know. But let's continue on in the draft. Okay, so I've been working on a trade here with the Chargers. I want to get back up in the draft because there's a player that I really like. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to trade Matt Judon, second round pick this year and a 6th round pick next year for the first round pick of the Chargers. It's pick 17 and Kaiser White. I'm not sure if they're going to accept this or not. I feel like it's in their favor. They really do need to write another pass rusher to go with Boza. Let's see if they accept. Okay, so they're not going to accept. We'll try changing that 6th into a 3rd next year. Okay, still no acceptance. Okay, so negotiations with the Chargers fell through. Instead, we decided to trade with the Raiders, who wanted a pass rusher and Matt Judon. We got the 27th pick and Jonathan Abram, and they got a 2nd round pick this year, a 3rd round pick next year, and Matt Judon. I think this was a little bit more of an overpay, but I really wanted to get the trade done, and I'm going to show you guys who we're going to be drafting. Okay, never mind. I changed the trade because the Raiders were having cap problems, but it's going to be Matt Judon in a 2nd this year for a 1st next year and Tyree Gillespie. Okay, so with the 27th pick in the 1st round that we got from the Raiders, we're going to be drafting Johnny Mccree, 21-year-old strong safety out of Iowa. 8 hit power, B tackle, he's 5'10", not the biggest guy, but physically just absolutely dominant. Ran a 4.38 at his college pro day. Pretty much led the combine in almost everything. His skills, B finesse, A hit power, B tackle. Doesn't really show anything else, but I think that just this athletic of a guy is just way too hard to pass up on. I'm hoping he has a dev trait. Let's see what he has. 92 speed. Wow. And he's got the dev trait. Okay. Good pick. That's awesome. Johnny Mccree. I don't know where we're going to play him, whether it's linebacker or safety. Probably going to play him at strong safety and then move Duggar. Okay, so with our next pick, we're going to be taking Ezekiel Jennings, a center out of Virginia Tech. I don't know his awareness, so I can't tell if he has a dev trait or not, but his physical stats are amazing. He's a beast, and his other stats look amazing, so I'm just going to take a guess and say he has the dev trait. What do you know? I'm the best at drafting. Yes, I am. So good. See you at our 4th pick. Okay, with our 4th pick, we're going to be taking Gabe Connor. He's a left tackle out of NC State. B awareness, he's 6'6". Athletically, his physicals, pretty good. Decent. He's got B run block power, B in block power, impact block. I don't know what I just tried to say. And B awareness. I think there's a good chance that he has a dev trait, but it's not guaranteed. If he has a dev trait, he'll probably replace one of our starters very soon. If not, he's a backup. Welcome to the team. He's a backup, but he's a very good backup. So with our 6th pick, we are going to be drafting Shaden Phillips, corner out of North Dakota State. He's very physical. He's fast, great athletics, and he's got good block shedding and good press and C play recognition. He's a backup, but he looks pretty good, enough for me to draft him. So welcome to the team. 93 speed. Ah, good for you, buddy. Okay, going into year 3 of the rebuild. Not too much has changed so far. We've got Jennings as our swing tackle. Green moved to our starting left tackle, and I think Jennings is probably going to end up being a starter next year, but this will at least get him some experience. Same thing for tight ends is still Henry, Smith, and Harry. Mecchi still our number 2 and our slot receiver. Nothing else has really changed on offense. Defensively, we do have some changes. So Mccree is going to be our starting strong safety. Let's take a look at him. He looks So good. 91 hit power, 92 speed. Oh my god, he is a beast. Absolute beast. I wonder what his dev trait is. It's probably just star, but we moved Duggar to our second Mike linebacker as well as our left outside linebacker with Elliott and Harrison. Linebacker core looks really good. That's fast. That's fast and hard hitting. Peppers is still our free safety. Hendrix is going to be our rushing right end and our starting right end. Uche we moved to left end. We're going to have Barmore starting as our number 1 DT and Wise as our number 2. Then we've got Wilson and Phillips as our slot corners. Going forward, we do need a new slot corner. Phillips and Wilson are not going to cut it. We need somebody a lot better than that. We also need to bolster this defensive line. Specialists. This is what it looks like. A little bit of work needs to be done, but I think this is going to be a good season. I think this is a playoff season. I don't know if we're going to be making a deep playoff run, but we really need Mac Jones to dev up. He's already 24, and he still hasn't dev'd up yet. It's not ideal. If he doesn't go up to superstar and we don't have a deep playoff run this year, I won't hesitate to start looking at drafting a replacement, or at least a backup who can put his can light a fire under his butt and get him playing better. But John Mechie looks good. 22 years old. He's already 82 overall, which is insane without having a dev trait. We're just going to keep developing him as much as we can. 90 deep row. Oh my god. I think that he's going to be a really good receiver. We just need to get him the dev up. And in order to do that, he needs to lead the league. Be a top 10 or whatever in yards or touchdowns or yards per catch. Anything like that. But I will see you all at the mid-season mark. Okay, welcome to the mid-season mark. We're 5-2, way better than it was last year. I think we were 2-5. Let's go ahead and take a look at the user stats, and it looks like Mac Jones is kicking butt. 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 2,200 yards. Okay, touchdowns are a little on the lower side, but our receivers are still kind of developing. Rushing, it's okay, modest. Receiving, John Mechie is not playing. 700 yards, 100 yards per game he's averaging right now with 4 touchdowns. Yeah, this is his breakout year. Good for you, John Mechie. Nothing there. Defense. Uche and Hendrix both have 4.5 sacks. And interceptions. Mccree is having a hell of a season. So is Duggar and Jackson. Good for these guys. Looks like this is going to be a pretty good year. We're leading number 1 in offensive yards, and we're number 7 in defensive yards. So, but we'll see how it works out at the end of the year. So we can go ahead and choose a national focus position for the scouting. You know what? I think we'll keep it on center for now. I gotta switch all this next season. I completely forgot to assign these 4 scouts here, so they're just kind of random. I didn't even pick these. But yeah, we'll keep them on center for now. Just we might need an extra lineman, so it's always good to draft linemen. Pretty much defensive and offensive linemen are the only 2 positions that where you can't really judge them by their physicals. You really need to know like more stats about them. Offensive linemen, it's awareness is the stat that's going to tell you a lot. And for defensive linemen, it's going to be their pass rushing, moves, block, shedding, a little bit of their awareness, tackle, hit power, that sort of thing. Now let's back out here. Let's go to upgrade player. JC Jackson. So when you're upgrading your corners, always upgrade slot. Slot is where it's at. It's the best upgrade by far. It gives you literally everything, and most importantly, it gives you a good chance at speed upgrades. Let's see if we can get him a speed upgrade. Look at that. See? Told you. when it comes to your corners, never upgrade anything but slot. JC Jackson is now 93 speed. And that goes for your user franchises too. If you're playing online against other people, always upgrade slot with your corners. Jameel Kitchen, we'll go power. Bring him to the scheme fit. Power is good because you get block shedding and strength. I like power. I also like run stopper as well. With receiver, my two favorites are slot and deep threat. But when it comes to your receivers and you're upgrading them, really the way you want to upgrade them is look at their stats and what they're lacking. So for instance, Chris Godwin, he's got pretty much everything, 90 plus almost. So at this point, you can upgrade him wherever you want. My suggestion would be deep threat because it has the best chance at speed. If you don't want to do deep threat and you don't care about extra speed, go, see, right there, +1 speed. See, I know what I'm talking about. If you don't want to go deep threat, go physical. Physical is going to give you spec catching traffic, release, jump. So it's going to, you know, like your carrying stats, break tackle, trucking, stuff like that. So it's going to really give you a lot of upgrades in your auxiliary stats. And who was left to upgrade? Nobody. Okay. Players to negotiate. Let's see what we got here. Hunter Henry, Shaq Mason, Mike Onwenu, Kyle Duggar. I think, I think I'm going to sign Eli Curry. I liked him. We're going to sign him to a 7-year deal. He's just a backup, but he's 80 speed, which I like. Josh Uche is pretty cheap. I'm going to keep him on a 5-year deal. Kendrick Bourne, we're not going to re-sign. Duggar, for that price, I'm going to sign him to a 4-year deal. He's pretty cheap as well. Mike Onwenu. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep Mike on a 7-year deal. He's going to dev up pretty good. I mean, upgrade pretty good in the next 7 years. He'll be in the 90s. Shaq. We have a replacement for Shaq Mason, so I'm not going to re-sign him. And Hunter Henry. No, I don't think I'm going to re-sign Hunter Henry as well. He's 28. Okay. That's that for draft. I mean, for negotiations. Okay, I'm going to see you all at the end of the season. Okay, here we are in the playoffs. Thankfully, we made the wild card, and look who it is. The old Buffalo Bills. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats on the season. Mac Jones, 5,200 yards, 33 touchdowns, 24 interceptions. That's a lot of interceptions. Huh. Good season, though. 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns for Damien Harris. That's really good. John Mechie and Godwin, two 1,400-yard receivers. That is awesome. John Mechie should definitely dev up this time. Jacoby almost had 1,000. Hunter had 830. Good for these guys. They all kicked butt. Defense. Let's see how they did. Uche with 13 and Hendrix with 11 sacks. Good for you guys. Duggar had 5 interceptions. JC had 4. Mccree had 3. So, yeah, our defense played pretty good. Tackle for losses. Duggar had a bunch. And then tackles. He led the team in losses and tackles. Elliott had a lot too. Defense played good. So we had the 5th offense in yards and 10th defense in yards. Pretty good. Not too shabby. Team playoff Blizzard. I'm not even gonna read that. Let's go to upgrade players. Kenyon Green. We'll upgrade his power. When it comes to offensive linemen, I honestly can't really tell you what archetype is better. Agility is better for physicals. Like if you care about offensive linemen who have speed, acceleration, agility. When it comes to offensive linemen, their most important stats are awareness, strength, and their blocking abilities themselves. They're not really big on the physical stats. Besides strength, acceleration's a little important, I guess, especially if you're pulling guards and whatnot. But totally up to you. If you're running a power run, then go power with your offensive lineman. If it's a zone run, go agility. If you pass a lot, make sure your left tackle or your right tackle are pass protectors, you know. It's really more like realistic, like standard. Anyways, center, power, strength, run block power, pass block power, lead block. So power archetype does pretty good. When it comes to quarterback, you're gonna want to do improviser. Improviser is really good this year for upgrading. You're gonna get throw powers. You're gonna get occasionally get speeds from them as well, but you'll get everything, including throw power. Eli Curry, give you speed rusher. And Trendon Lindsay will go power. I usually like to keep it to the scheme fit, just to get that extra experience. And Mac Attack will go improviser. Hopefully he gets a throw power upgrade. None. 86 throw power still. I'm hoping he devs up at the end of the season. All right. Let's go right in. It is playoff time. So we're going to be running our custom playbooks. I really like these custom playbooks. They're super balanced. They spread the ball well. They run, they pass. Quarterbacks put up pretty good numbers, and the defense works pretty well too. Let's see if the New England Patriots can overcome the Buffalo Bills and that embarrassment that they gave us 2 years ago. Sim to the end of the game. All right. So Buffalo's going to take an early lead by 10 points. Patriots are going to go up 7. We're still down by 3. We take the lead by 4. Buffalo scores. Now we're up 4 points. And we're up 11. They score. We're up 5. We make a big stop and we drive down the field to score. We're up by 12. And we might win this thing. We do. We win by 5 points. 35-30. Woo-wee. Patriots make good on their past dominance and a promise to retake the AFC East. Mac Jones had a great game. 367 yards, 70% completion, 4 touchdowns. Josh Allen had an amazing game. 30 out of 39 with 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That is ridiculous. Rushing, Damien Harris had 87. Average 5.1 per carry. That's pretty good. And nothing else that sticks out. Receiving, Mecree and Diggs both went off. Good for you guys. Let's go Patriots defense. Sacks, Uche and Elliott had sacks. No interceptions. All right, we did it. We're going to the divisional round. We got past the first hump, which was beat the Bills. So, when you look at your receivers and you can see, like, look at John Mecree right now. He's got 89 medium route and 92 deep route. He's insane. But look at his short route, 77. You know, as much as I want to keep leveling deep, he needs slot. You want your receivers route running to be 85 is the threshold. You want each of them to be 85. You want all his catching to be 85 and higher, preferably 90 and higher. So slot is really good for short route running, catching traffic, and regular catching. So we're going to go ahead and level his slot as much as possible. He didn't even get any short route. He got 2 medium, which is what we didn't need, but that's insane. 86 overall, 22 years old, no dev trait. I don't know if I've ever seen something like that before in this game. That's pretty crazy. We're going to go pass protector with Mike Onwenu. Get him closer to that scheme fit. And Daniel Falale. We're going to give him 1 agility. Just to give him a little boost here in his stats that are probably not as high. You can see his run block finesse and his run block are kind of low. So we can work on those a little bit. I have it on auto upgrade players, so we'll only occasionally get to do it ourselves. But going to the divisional round, we've got the Chiefs. Let's go ahead and upgrade our players before we get into the game. N'Keal Harry, our tight end, we're going to upgrade his vertical threat, which I believe is the best. And Kendrick Bourne, who I believe it's his last year with us here. We'll go deep. So the first step for the Patriots in reclaiming their dynasty is 1, beat the Bills. We did it. 2, beat the Chiefs. That's a much harder hill to climb than the Bills. We're going to go right ahead into the game. Playbooks are on already. Let's see if we can overcome Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be really hard to do. Ugh, I hate playing them. I think we might get bounced here. We're at Arrowhead too. They got the home field advantage. Arrowhead's a hard place to go into and win. But let's see what Matt can do. We're going to take the early lead with 3 points. Kansas City's not going to tie it up. They're going to mess it up. We're going to go up 10 points. We've got the ball. So 10-3. 17-3 in the second half. And this is looking good for us. Oh, no. Yep. Okay, we're good. I think we might have this. Oh, wow. We just completely obliterated the Chiefs. 31-16. Whew. That was an erratic game. I couldn't even call it because there's just so much crazy stuff happening. But Patrick Mahomes threw 56 times. He had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Mac Jones, not his best game, but not bad at all. 328 yards, 1 touchdown. He threw 42 times. They could not run the ball. Oh man, we really stopped the run. That's good. And they couldn't stop the run. We ran. It's at almost 90, almost 100 yards between all 4 of these people. John Mechie again, just killing it. 150 yards. John Mechie's insane. He's like just insane. Such a strange player that he doesn't have a dev trait. And he's like almost 90 overall. That's just how insane he is, really. Alright, well, we've got the conference championship game up next before we can go to the Super Bowl. I don't know who it's going to be. Probably the Browns. If you've watched our other videos, you know how much I hate the Cleveland Browns. Oh, for safeties, always upgrade hybrid. That's what I just did there. I meant to mention that. But yeah, hybrid's going to give you speed upgrades. It's going to give you... Oh, okay. Baltimore Ravens. Interesting. Let's go ahead and upgrade our player here. Dorance Armstrong. Okay. All right, let's see if we can overcome the Ravens. Last hill to climb before we make the Super Bowl. Oh, this one's going to be tough. If we can stop the run, I think we can do this. All right, let's go ahead and open up the simulator. Jump forward, end of game, let's do it. Okay, Patriots are going to take an early lead, and Ravens are going to tie it up. Patriots are going to go down the field, score again. We get the ball back, we score again, 21-7. Ravens score 21-14. We score 28-14. This is a shootout so far, but we've got but 2 touchdowns. Ravens drive down the field, but Mac Jones manages to bring it back to 2-score, 3-score lead. We're going to the Super Bowl. Just like that. Ooh-wee. Little shootout between Mac Jones and Lamar Jackson. So our defense managed to give Lamar Jackson a hard time. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 69 completion percentage, nice. 379 passing yards. Mac Jones, respectable 245 with 3 touchdowns. I wouldn't say we shut down their run game, but definitely it's not as good as it would have been. It should be. Same thing for ours though. Should have been better. It wasn't. Receiving, John Mechie, good game. Mark Andrews, really good game. There's only 1 sack for the whole game. That's crazy. 2 interceptions, 1 for Reed, 1 for Mccree. That's insane. Only 1 sack. Johnny Mccree, hybrid upgrade. He looks really good. 1 agility, 1 tackle. Star dev. That's okay. Shaden Phillips, slot upgrade for corners. Acceleration, awareness, man tackle, good. I'm surprised we made the Super Bowl. I thought at least the Chiefs would knock. Oh Lord, why is it always the Cowboys? I hate them boys. Slot upgrade for Justin Reed. Yeah, Cowboys are just, they're always in the NFC Super Bowl side. Oh my god. So annoying to deal with. Let's upgrade our players here. I don't usually show upgrades, but this time I kind of want to, because I wanted to show you where I upgrade my players and what they kind of get, and kind of behind the scenes of what I usually skip in the video. So JC, we're going to give him a slot upgrade. He dabbed up to X Factor. That's awesome. Good for him. We're going to give him universal coverage. He actually qualifies for our coach rule. Duggar devved up too. To superstar. Good for you, Duggar. I'll give him abilities after. Ezekiel Jennings. Power. Wow, Jennings is pretty good. He's going to be a good replacement for Shaq Mason, who we're going to let go. Okay, and last but not least, Warren Hendrix. He must have won Rookie of the Year. Or Defensive Rookie of the Year. Wonder if he devved up. I hope so. He did. Awesome. Good. I'm happy about that. Okay, next thing I want to do before we go into the Super Bowl is I want to take a look at our DevOps. And then we can do a couple upgrades here. Okay. First of all, Mac Jones. He devved up. We're going to give him Inside Deadeye and Pocket Deadeye. He also applies for coach rule, so we're going to go ahead and edit him. Coach rule, if you don't remember, is when a player reaches 90 overall, superstar dev or superstar X Factor dev, we get 1 trait change on them. And in this case, I'm going to be giving Mac Jones aggressive force passes, which I like better than conservative in the simulator. D Harris is looking good. He's 90 overall. Wow. He's good. Godwin's looking really good. Mechie still hasn't devved up. That is the ridiculous. I can't believe that right now. I think that's all the DevOps on offense was just Mac Jones. Okay, let's go to defense. Jabril Peppers, he upgraded to superstar. We're going to give him tackle supreme and pick artist. Edit player. He qualifies for the coach role. I don't know what we're going to give him, but we'll figure it out. He plays ball in hair balance. Air. We're going to give him aggressive, plays ball in air. I like in the old Madden where you could just spend XP and change their traits. I don't know why they got rid of that. Just stupid. Kyle Duggar, who we're going to give secure tackler. And we're going to give him maybe strips ball. Duggar already has a lot of good traits. He already has play ball and air aggressive. So yeah, we're gonna give him strip ball. And Jackson, we're gonna give him one step ahead. And we're going to give him... We'll keep Acrobat. Now, he has most of the good traits already. I think we'll just give him Disciplined, because he's undisciplined in this game. It's so weird that the devs have him undisciplined. Like, he was undisciplined because I know exactly why they gave him undisciplined, because he was like this a couple years ago. In that, remember that Patriots Chiefs AFC Championship game they played? And then right in the fourth quarter when there was 2 minutes left and Pat Mahomes was driving down the field, JC Jackson had like 2 pass interference and holding calls pretty much in a row. And ever since then, they just kept him with undisciplined penalty. Even though he really isn't undisciplined when it comes to penalties, he doesn't really get penalties very often. It was just that one in his rookie year, pretty much, that happened. But we're going to give him Disciplined as his coach rule trait change. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So, Cowboys lost the Super Bowl last year. And they might be out for blood this year. I feel like we're facing them every time in the simulator for every freaking rebuild that we do. So annoying. But let's see if once again we can overcome them. Can the Patriots be Super Bowl champions again? So the Dallas Cowboys are going to take a 10-point lead, and we're going to go up 3. They're going to go up 13. Ooh, this is not looking good at all. 10-20. We need to make a stop. Oh, no, this is not looking good. We're going to lose. Yep. We didn't just lose. We got blown out in the Super Bowl. Oh, I fucking hate the Cowboys. So frustrating.
And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name champion. And they can't ever take that away.
Mac played like shit. All right. That's annoying. I hate losing in the Super Bowl. Okay, so win or lose, this is going to be our last season of the rebuild. And in this last season, we made the wild card at 12-5. Our best record yet. Let's go ahead and check the stats on the season. Mac Jones had another 5,000 yard passing season with 39 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Damien Harris has been just steady. 1,000 yards, 15 touchdowns. Good for you, Dame. Godwin, 1,507. Mechie was a little bit lower, but Dan Bollocks had a good season with 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. So we had 3,000 yard receivers. Jacoby almost had 1,000 as well. So that was pretty good. Sack numbers, 8.5 for Ooch, 7.5 for Hendrix. Interceptions, 5 for Mccree. Mccree is just insane. He's just insane. Knox had 2, our slot corner. And looking at tackles, Duggar and Elliott led the team. Tackle for losses, it was Barmore and Ooch and Hendrix who led the team. not our most spectacular season stat-wise, I would say. I think last year was probably better, but defense was second in yards, so that's pretty awesome. Looks like our defense is playing good. Let's go ahead and jump right into the playoff match against the Texans. Not going to underestimate any team, especially one with Deshaun Watson on it. You know, I have nothing to say about him. Let's jump into the simulator. Let's see if we can make it to the divisional round. All right, Houston Texans take the lead by 3, and Patriots finally take a score. Houston goes up by a kick. Patriots are up 14. Okay, we're into an offensive shootout now. We're up by 12, which is good. It's 4th. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. What is going on? How did they catch up? What kind of comeback was that? We won. That was an insane comeback. I thought we had it in the bag. It was like 3 minutes left and they scored twice. That was ridiculous. Mac Jones, 350, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Deshaun Watson, 380, 1 touchdown and an interception. Rushing, nothing spectacular. Receiving, Tyler Higbee. What the flip? Why is he going off for 130? John Mechie went off 140. Yeah, nothing too insane. I'm happy we didn't get bounced in the wild card though. Divisional matchup. Let's see who it's going to be against. All right, we got some upgrades here. Go pass protector for Dan. He is massive. He is the biggest player I've ever drafted. 6'8", 380. That's insane. And we got Zeke, who is a great replacement for Shaq Mason. He pretty much is a smaller Shaq Mason. Calvin Knox, our slot corner. He probably, I wonder if he got any speed upgrades in, yep, he got 1 behind the scenes. Aggressive, big hitter. Yeah, he's insane too for our slot corner. Dan Bollocks, dude, he's upgrading like crazy. Wasn't he like 69 overall? I swear he was like 69 overall to start the season. He went up by like 8 overall. That's nuts. Let's go ahead and advance the week. All right, Tennessee Titans. Let's jump right in. Derrick Henry's going to be a little bit hard to go against. That is a lot of X factors. My God. All right. Let's hope Ryan Tannehill has regressed. And we can use that to our advantage. It's a snow game. Not good. Jump forward. End of game. Let's beat the Titans. Come on. We're going to take the early lead, 7-0. They score right back, 7-7. And we'll score next, 14-7. We're going to score again. We're up 2 scores. That's good. Before the half, we score again. And we're going to score again in the third. And we're going to score again. This is over with. Over and done with. We beat them. They couldn't. They had nothing. All right, that was the divisional matchup. Mac had 270 and 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ryan Tannehill did not have a good game at all. Rushing. Wow, we really stopped Derrick Henry. That's insane. 11 for 40. That is insane. And they couldn't stop Dame. Dame and Stevenson. Stevenson had more than Henry. Oh my God, my team stops the run. Oh my God. Ton of sacks. Oh my God. 2.5, 4.5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5, 9 sacks. Are you kidding me? 2 interceptions. Oh my God. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm an idiot. My bad. I was looking at both teams. Wait, no, Patriots 2.5, 4.5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5, 9. No, just Patriots alone had 9 sacks. 9 sacks, 1 interception, 2 tackles for losses. Okay. We still had 9 sacks, though, just our team. That's insane. Anyways, let's back out here. We're going to the conference championship game. Probably going to be against the Chiefs or the Browns. And it's going to be a tough game to win. But either way, I've been happy with this rebuild so far. The whole point was to get the dynasty rolling, you know, be a perennial playoff team, rebuild the defense so it's faster, younger, get a good receiving core to help Mac Jones, you know, build around him. That was the whole point. And I think that we've done that. Obviously, I'd love to cap it off with a win in the Super Bowl. We did make the Super Bowl, we just lost. Not really fair. The Raiders in the conference game. Interesting. You don't see that very often. I wonder who their quarterback is. Bet you it's like Baker Mayfield. Probably is. Unless they just like... Will it say? No, it didn't say. I'm genuinely curious who their quarterback is now. All right, let's jump to the end of the game here. Raiders are going to take the lead 7-0. They're going to go up 10-0. And we will go up 3. We're going to tie the game 10-10. We're going to fight. They're upset. Okay, this is back and forth. Finally, we take the lead. Can we make a stop? And we stop into a field goal. We're up 11 right now. We need to score here. We're up 6. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? We won with a field goal. That's insane. Oh, we won 37-35. We're going back to the Super Bowl. Back-to-back Super Bowls. Unfortunately for Derek Carr, he will miss out on his first Super Bowl of his career. Oof. Mac had a good game 3. Okay, sorry about that. OBS crashed. I gotta fix something on my computer. I don't understand what's happening. It's been weird lately. But anyways, we're going to the Super Bowl again. And please pray to God that it's not against the Cowboys or the Bucks. It'll be one of the two. John Mechie. Let's go. Slot receiver. Mr. Insane. And it's going to be against the 49ers. Ooh, what an interesting Super Bowl matchup. Trey Lance versus Mac Jones. Huh. This is going to be a fun one. So, looking at the yearly awards, Pat Mahomes won MVP. And Urban Meyer won Coach of the Year. Okay. AFC. Pat Mahomes. Let's see if we won anything. Dan Bollocks was Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Defensive Rookie of the Year was almost Knox. He came in 5th. Doesn't really look like Patriots won anything else. Who was that? Johnny Mccree. He came in 3rd for Best DB. Okay, let's go ahead and check our lineup. Let's see if who dev'd up. Who dev'd up? All right, Mac Jones, X Factor. Finally. So 2 years behind, but Omaha, huh? Okay, we're gonna give him Gunslinger and Pass Lead Elite. Pocket Deadeye, Inside Deadeye, Omaha. All right. Looking good. So Mac Jones takes the route of Peyton Manning, not Tom Brady. Interesting. John Mechie still hasn't dev'd up. He's 88 overall. Look at his stats. He is ridiculous. And he still hasn't dev'd up. I've never seen anything like this in my ever. 88 overall, normal dev. He's like, is he glitched or something? Like, I don't understand what is going on with him. Doesn't even make sense. No coach rule upgrades on offense. Defensively, nothing. Okay. Interesting. So, no major devs besides Mac. All right, let's just go do it. Let's go win this bowl. Let's put our heads down. Concentrate. Let's go win it. They've got a really good team. I'd hate to go out on 2 Super Bowl losses, but you know what? We can't always have what we want. All right. Let's do it. Super sim. Jump forward. End of game. Let's go. And 49ers will take the lead with 3. Patriots score right back. We go 10-3 lead. Can we put a stop in? Nope. Tie the game 10-10. We score 13. We're up by 10 right now. We're up by 13. 2-score game. Still a 2-score game going into the third. 7 points going into the fourth. It's a 2-score game with 2 minutes left, and we're going to win it. And Mac Jones has his first Super Bowl. The Patriots are back, baby. Bill Belichick looking a little young right there. Mike Vrabel won the 49ers. Whew, we did it. New England Patriots are Super Bowl champions. It was a 4-year rebuild. We made the Super Bowl twice, and we won once, lost once. But you know what? I'm happy with the ending. Oh, don't feel bad, Trey Lance. It's okay. There'll be more to come for you. There won't. And, you know, I think we did a good job. This was, this was one of those rebuilds where we had to, like, deconstruct the entire roster and rebuild it back up with just the young, developable pieces. Oof. Let's take a look at the end of this rebuild's roster. So, we kept Mac Jones. Mac Jones is for sure the face of the franchise. We answered that question. Damien Harris is his number 2, one of his best friends, and he is the franchise back. Dude's a machine, just absolutely. Chris Godwin became the number 1 receiver that Mac Jones really needed to move this offense forward. John Mechie, still super interesting receiver. I've never seen something like this before ever. He became the safety blanket that, you know, he's like the Edelman or the Amendola or the Wes Welker to Max Tom Brady. Bollocks is not really a Gronkowski, but you know, he's a really solid tight end, like an LG Crumpler, you know, a Ben Watson. But he still has tons of time to develop, so going forward, that will be interesting to see. Offensive line is one of the best in the league. N'Keal Harry didn't develop as a wide receiver, but you know what? We switched him to tight end, and he's really good. He's a great depth tight end. We have 2 backup quarterbacks, Pauly and Thompson. They didn't really get any play time, but you know what? That's a good thing. Defensively, we kept Jackson, Barmore, Uche, and Duggar from our original Patriots squad. There are young pieces that we decided to build around. And we brought in Cam Jordan and Animata. We drafted Hendrix. We brought in Reed as a safety, and we converted him to a corner. And he did a really good job. Like, he's kind of a beast. 28 years old, 85 overall, 94 speed. Looks great. We drafted Johnny Mccree, 23 years old, 92 speed, 91 hit power. This dude's insane. One of the best strong safeties I've ever drafted. Linebackers, the one thing we needed to do was get faster and younger, and we did. We brought in Elliott, we brought in Harrison, Edmonds, we brought in. We traded for Gillespie from the Raiders. We signed Jones. This is a fast linebacker core, and you know what? It helped. We were able to stop teams from running the ball. You seen what we did to Derrick Henry. We had that speed, and up front, we had the strength. Safeties were a really good situation. Yeah, you know what? I'm proud of this team, and I'm proud of the way this rebuild went. Went real smooth. I was disappointed we lost that Super Bowl against the Cowboys, but you can't win them all. But that will be it for this rebuild and this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, and we will see you again next time. This is the end of the series. Thank you so much for sticking with me and watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and you can expect more series just like this one to be released on the channel. I look forward to making more videos for you, and have a great day.